Hello and welcome back to Planet Nibiru, where anything is possible. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and an outstanding New Year's. I am extremely excited about the things we have planned for 2018. We have some special guests who will be coming on the show, and we will be revisiting some of the subjects that generated the most interest last year, as well as delving into a whole bunch of new topics this year that I know will blow you guys' minds. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into today's topic, and that is that there's magma welling up under New England of all places. A vast mass of hot rock is welling up underneath Vermont and extending into other subterranean regions below New England, new research shows. When you think of magma, you probably think of Hawaii or Sumatra or some other place where volcanoes are prevalent, right? I bet almost nobody shouts Boston when you think of the first town that comes to mind when you hear the word magma. But Boston and the rest of New England may be in for a surprise in the near future. Scientists use a network of thousands of seismic measurement devices in the largest geological study of its kind, detecting an enormous blob of magma upwelling under Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, extending possibly as far south as Connecticut. The upwelling we detected is like a hot air balloon, and we infer that something is rising up through the deeper part of our planet under New England, says geophysicist Vadim Levin from Rutgers University in New Brunswick. Since New England doesn't have any active volcanoes, this huge buildup is thought to be a geologically recent phenomenon. Although, in this case, that means it could have slowly but steadily been growing for millions of years. As for whether the mass could one day erupt, that's the way these things go, the team says, although there's no point in panicking, since such an eventuality is probably still a long ways off. Is to try and understand how exactly it's happening, and the timeline that it will be happening on. The team analyzed the blob using EarthScope, a multi-institutional network of instruments monitoring seismic movements rippling through the North American continent. Buried in 2 years of data, the team zeroed in on New England, having previously identified a thermal anomaly that was hundreds of degrees Celsius hotter than its surroundings in the upper mantle about 124 miles below the surface. This upwelling measured approximately 400 kilometers or about 250 miles in diameter. It is a very large and relatively stable region, but we found an irregular pattern with rather abrupt changes in it. Using new readings of seismic waves traveling through the Earth's underground, the team suggests that the blob is welling directly under central Vermont, but it also extends into western New Hampshire and western Massachusetts. The researchers acknowledge that the mass may travel beyond these states, although they're unable to tell from the data that they used in this study. That said, as enormous as this blob is, compared to other volcanic masses churning under the US, it's certainly no giant. It's not Yellowstone-like, but it's a distant relative in the sense that something relatively small, no more than a couple hundred miles across, is happening, says Levin. There's still a lot to learn about this mass and its behavior, but the researchers say their findings challenge what we think we know about geological conditions under this Atlantic region of North America. We did not expect to find abrupt changes in physical properties beneath this region, says Mr. Levin, and the likely explanation points to a much more dynamic regime underneath this old, geologically quiet area. Which brings us to the question of why is there magma rising under that historically dormant region that has been completely free of volcanoes? The parallels between New England seeing the beginning of volcanic activity and Oklahoma now getting thousands of earthquakes a year, when they used to get none, is pretty much plain for all to see. Many folks might say that Planet X is causing all of this strange activity. The massive uptick in volcanoes, earthquakes, and absolutely insane weather patterns that we're seeing worldwide is undeniable. Something is changing, and that fact cannot be denied. Of course, many will tell you it's climate change, and in a way, maybe it is. But the climate is always changing, so climate change is a bit of a misnomer. What they are preaching is global warming due to man-made activity, which I completely disagree with, but that's a story for another video. For now, Get in the comment section and let us know what you think. Whether you feel it's Planet X, HARP, or weather control systems, or maybe just a mere coincidence with no interference from man whatsoever, let us know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.